All right, I did a secret test with friends that I shoot with, and what I did is I gave one guy a revolver and I gave one guy a semi-auto, and I told them that in this test, all I expect you to do is to shoot three 4-inch targets, and I want two shots on each 4-inch target. And this guy here, I thought he was going to say something like, "Well, I can't do that. I only got a 5-shot revolver," but he didn't say that. So I'm thinking that he was thinking to himself, okay, I got to make it count. And this guy here, what happened is he probably thought that this was full. I didn't fill it up. I only put 5 shots in there. So that's where the trick came in. And the whole point I was trying to make with this test that I did with these guys is that it's not about how much ammo you have, it's how you use the ammo. Never take your ammunition for granted. So I'm going to bring you over to a target and these little 4-inch squares as a representation. It's not the real target we used that day, but this was a timed test where you had to have the accuracy and you had to shoot the target before you could go to the next one. In other words, you'd have to shoot two in the 4-inch zone, two in the 4-inch zone, two in the 4-inch zone to complete the test. And then the speed, I didn't have a stopwatch or any kind of timer on me or anything like that. I just wanted to see how fast they each would do it. And they both went pretty quick at it. But I want to show you the results here on this chart. Now this is just a representation. This isn't the actual field target that we used and the actual squares that I used that day. These are new ones that I put up. So what I want you to do is I want you guys to disregard the yellow thumbtack. That's just to hold the target up. Okay. Now this is a test at 5 yards with no cover, and all I wanted the guys to do was make 2 hits on this one, 2 hits on this one, and 2 hits on this one. And their accuracy and speed is critical, and I told them I want accuracy and then speed. So they kind of had to do both at the same time as best they could. So what I did is I took the semi-auto guy first. And what happened is he fired his first shot here, his second one, and he knew he missed twice. So then the third one he got right here, and the fourth one he got here. Then he did really good over here and got this shot. But then after this, the slide was to the rear. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, what happened? Where's the ammo or whatever?" And I said I rigged it. I only put like 5 in there. And I said it was to prove a point about something. And then the revolver guy, him knowing that he was cheated already because he didn't have 6 rounds, what he did is he fired 2 shots, hit the target where he's supposed to. 2 shots, hit the target where he's supposed to. 1 shot, and that would have probably did it. Full power 357 Magnum to the heart. But he fired 1 shot and then he was empty. And so what does this prove? What point am I trying to make here? The point I'm trying to make is that never take your ammunition for granted. It's how you use the ammunition. It's not how much you have. It's how you use the ammunition. And because we're used to high capacity magazines these days, we tend to think that since we have a lot of firepower, or at least we call it firepower, but true firepower is not how much ammo you can shoot. True firepower is how much ammo you can shoot accurately, where you can hit the target. That's firepower. So you could have thousands of rounds, but if you're not hitting anything, it doesn't count. So technically you can have a 5-shot revolver and do better than somebody that's got a 17-round magazine. And this is a point I was trying to make because that Taurus does have a 17 plus 1 capacity. And he thought he was going to have 18 rounds. Okay. Now this is a big problem. The reason why is because, for one thing, I got to tell you, is revolvers, we have speed loaders. So it isn't the end of the world when you have 5 shots. Okay. You have a thing called a speed loader. So you have more ammunition. Everybody always thinks about a revolver based off only 5 or 6 shots. But they don't understand that with tactics, using cover and different things like that, that you could reload your revolver and get back in the fight. And usually in private defense situations with citizens where you do have cover and you fire the first shot at this guy, even if you don't hit him, sometimes all three of them run away. Or if you incapacitate this guy with 2 shots, chances are that these 2 guys aren't going to come back to your cover. So the whole thing, I can give you an example like law enforcement, for instance, when they used to use revolvers. I hate to say it, but they were better shots back then. They just were. They were better shots back then because they knew that they only had 5 or 6 shots, and then that was it. But when they came out with these higher capacity magazines, I'm not against high capacity magazines. I love high capacity magazines. But when police officers were issued higher capacity magazines, what they did is they thought, well, geez, I got 17 rounds, I'm going to be fine. No, not necessarily. You can pray and spray, but you still have to seek cover. You still have to use them shots wisely. You can't just pray and spray, okay? And that's one of the points that I was making many times, is the fact that we often take high capacity for granted, thinking that more capacity means more firepower, means that high capacity means we're better at a situation, which just isn't true. You have more opportunities, that's true, but the thing is that if you don't make hits, like I said, if you don't make hits, there's a chance that somebody that can make hits with less ammo can do better than you if you're just praying and spraying and you're not focusing on what you're supposed to be doing, using them shots wisely. So that's the point I wanted to make to you guys, is more ammunition isn't necessarily better. And the rebuttal that people use for having more ammunition is the fact that they'll say something like, nobody ever complained about having too much ammunition. And that's true, like in wars and stuff. You want as much ammunition as you can. But my rebuttal for that is nobody ever complained. Nobody ever complained when you only needed 2 shots to put down the bad guy either. So nobody ever complained about even 1 shot putting down the bad guy. So that's my rebuttal against that. Sure, nobody complained about nobody complained about having too much ammunition, but nobody ever complained about having too much accuracy either. See? Nobody ever complained about, oh, I got too much accuracy, I don't like that, I killed him. Okay, I shot him in the heart 2 times. Has anybody ever complained about that? No. So that's my rebuttal for that ammunition thing that people are saying nobody ever complained about having too much ammunition. That isn't the point. The point is how you use the ammunition, not how much you have. So anyway, thank you for watching, you guys.